I would like to introduce Eric Gilbert, who manages customer retention and development for Yahoo Small Business, where he is responsible for communications ranging from email and telesales to social media. And before he joined Yahoo, he worked at Intuit to help develop QuickBooks. Does anyone use QuickBooks? Yeah? So that's Eric right here. And of course, QuickBooks is the market leader for small business financial software. And just to recap, founded in January 1994, Yahoo is the world's most visited homepage. So round of applause for Eric Gilbert of Yahoo Small Business.
Thank you, guys. First, I want to start off complimenting Sean and the volunteers for putting together a really nice event. Not to put a negative spin on it, but I have two complaints. One, you're making me follow some really good speakers. And two, I was one seat away from the mayor's seat, and that would have been a really good story for later. But kudos to you guys, and even more than that, kudos to you guys for being here. You guys, by coming on a Friday, a work day, are away from your office, from your baby. And I think that really speaks to how much you care and how much you want to improve what you're doing. And so kudos to you guys. I want to start with just a quick story. About 6 months ago, I was at a rehearsal dinner, day before a wedding, and I gave a speech. And I was the first one up, and I talked about some stories about the groom and some fond memories, and even got a little sappy. And I finished, and it went better than I thought it was going to. And so I was first up, and the next guy up was my friend Jeff. And I made eye contact with Jeff as we were passing each other. He was coming up to the microphone, and he didn't say anything to me, but I could see it in his eyes. He said, those eyes said, "You took all my stuff." And so Kelly and Scott and Billy took some of my stuff. But I think when you hear points being reinforced a couple of times, it's going to tell you that we're talking about the right things. I also think we'll be building on, I'll be building on some of those points as well, and I'll cover some new material, so please stay here. So real quick, about Yahoo Small Business. We are part of Big Yahoo down in Sunnyvale. Yahoo is the premier digital media company in the world. So I heard Billy said, this poor guy from Yahoo, we're number 1 in 13 media categories, so nobody needs to feel sorry for us. We're doing all right. Yahoo Small Business, we help small businesses get online, sell online, grow online. We do that with our e-commerce offering. So I saw some of you guys have online stores here. We sell a hosted solution to help you do that, help you sell your products, take payments, etc. We have web hosting services. So if you're a service-based business and you want an online presence, register your domain, some professional site design tools, we can help you with that. We also do domain registration, business email, etc. And for more information, you can go to www.smallbusiness.yahoo.com. All right. So I've got some good news, and I've got some bad news, and it's always better to start with the bad news, right? There is no single right formula for using social media for your business. I wish I could say there was a single answer for all of you that was the right thing to do, but I just don't believe that. So that's the bad news. The good news is I'm 100% confident that you guys, if you ask yourselves the right questions, know your customer, and go through a process, you can find a way to make social work for your business. And so that's the kind of thing we're going to talk about today. First part of that is getting and being strong online. And that starts with having a business website, a really good one. Your customers are online, you need to be online too. And I saw the stat, boy that's small. I saw the stat from YP.com that said 50% of small businesses are online. I've got a conflicting stat that says 80% of small businesses are online. I think the takeaway is the same. You need to be online if you're a small business. 93% of your peers say their business website is one of the most important tools for marketing their business. So the days of being on the sideline and not being online are over. All right, you're getting strong online. What comes next? I come from an old school philosophy when it comes to marketing. And for me, that means knowing your customer first and foremost. It helps inform everything you do after that in terms of marketing. What does that mean? It means knowing the facts about them and knowing insights about them. So facts are things like, how old are they? How much money do they make? Where do they live? What social networks do they use? Insights are a little more difficult to uncover, but it's start asking yourselves questions. What product or service am I really bringing to my target customer? If they don't get it from me, where do they get it? Who is my competition? Am I bringing something that they need or something maybe that they just want? You start to get a sense of who your target customer is and put this all together. You can get a pretty rich customer profile, and that's really going to inform what kind of marketing you should do and what kind of social marketing you want to do. Okay, so this is a slide. This comes from Forrester Research. It's a giant, highly respected research organization. And this is their approach for how to come up with your social plan. This is called the POST method. P for people, O for objective, S for strategy, T for technology. What I love about this is technology is last on the list. You go through who is your target customer, what are you trying to accomplish as a business, how are you going to do that with the strategy, and choose the technology last. So I picked an example at random. I went on the event website and I saw there's Arizmendi Pizzeria and Bakery. I thought I would use them as an example here. And I'll caveat that with, I don't know that business like the business owner does. But people, right? Maybe they're going after families with 2 working parents, with small children. And if they're in Emeryville, maybe their target customer is also in Emeryville, right? Those are the kinds of facts that they're going to want to uncover about their target customer and think about. Then there's the insights. If their small children are like my small children, they have a pretty short expiration date when they go to a restaurant, right? You need fast service. You're looking for nutritious meals. So, if you're Arizmendi, you can start to put together that target profile, and that'll tell you who you're going after and how to do so. Objectives. Maybe Arizmendi, the slow day during the week is a Tuesday. So your objective is, I want to fill up this restaurant on Tuesdays. Okay, that's my O. S, how am I going to do it? Well, I'm going to put together some sort of menu family plan, right? That's a nice discount, highlights the nutritious options that I have, highlights the fast service that I bring to the table, and pitch that to these families. And then finally, you get to the T. How am I going to get the word out? Facebook has been talked about a lot. Group buying sites like a Groupon or a Living Social might be the right choice, but at that point, you've really been able to narrow it down from all of these options that are out there, and it makes the choice of technology a lot easier. Does this all make sense so far? Okay.
Will you be able to make this slideshow available so that those of us who aren't writing everything down?
I will figure that out.
Thank you.
Yeah. That's a maybe, but my email address is at the end of this as well, so I can answer specific questions too. All right, so what's next, right? You're strong online with a website, you know your customer. It's time to learn and listen about social. As Kelly mentioned, social can often be like a foreign language in a lot of ways. I have listed up here some free email newsletters that I personally use every day. I think Social Media Examiner, Who's Blogging What, Social Media Today are all great. They give a lot of examples of how businesses are using social to market themselves. You don't need to read these things every day, but it's a good place to start learning, and it's free. And then second, these are the social sites I think you definitely need to know. So Facebook and Twitter, YouTube. And see, these guys have done a lot of the work for me here. Foursquare is a location-based network. So if you're really targeting somebody in a specific geography, that might be something to look at. Yahoo Local and Yelp, talked about reviews a lot. Groupon and Living Social, these are those daily deals, kind of those group discount sites. Those are so hot right now. They're just taking off. And then finally, I think this gets kind of underplayed, niche social networks. So a lot of attention gets played to Facebook and Twitter, right? And rightfully so. There's so many people. But there are a lot of networks and sites out there that might be relevant to your specific industry. And I'll give you an example just to illustrate the point. If you are marketing to boomers and senior citizens, AARP has a fabulous community and network site. And you'll probably get more traction there than you would on Facebook. So think about if there are niche sites that are relevant for your industry and do that research. All right, so this is an interesting one. Anyone see this? This is in February. This is a Twitter post from Kenneth Cole. And it says, "Millions are in uproar in Cairo. Rumor is they heard our new spring collection is now available at blah, blah, blah." I don't want to beat on Kenneth Cole, right? I mean, Kenneth Cole's, I wish I could afford his clothes. But this is obviously a very serious situation, right? There are dramatic political events taking place. People are dying on the street, and he slips a marketing message in there. Right? Some would call it tasteless. And so that's bad enough, but I wanted to highlight something else here that's very specific to Twitter. And Kelly talked about the concept of a hashtag. So this pound Cairo is a hashtag. And what makes this doubly bad is that people around the world were using this hashtag to talk about the various serious events going on there, updates from the streets, debating on the topic. And so he inserted himself into that very serious Twitter conversation using this hashtag. And I think it just illustrates the point. If you don't know what a hashtag is, none of you guys will ever do something as dumb as this, but if you don't know the language, you can make some slip-ups, and they won't kill you like this did, but it's just important to learn and figure out what you're doing before you dive in. All right, so now you're educated, you know your customer, you're strong online. Let's get started. And this was hit on earlier. Integrate with what you're already doing. If you've got printed materials, if you've got business cards, brochures, your Arizmendi on your pizza box, list your website and your social media sites. It's such an easy thing to do, and it's a way for people to continue that relationship with you when they're not in your store. Press releases and advertising, it's just become a best practice to cross-link your website and your social media sites and those communications to customers. Email, I think that one's been covered pretty well, but totally agree, that's a best practice. And then in-store, I think, is one that sometimes goes under the radar as well. So I live in San Carlos across the bay, and nothing makes me happier than when I walk into a restaurant, a local restaurant, and I see the Twitter handle or the URL on their chalkboard menu. Because now I know how I can learn more when I'm not in the store, and they've got a way to start that customer relationship with me when I'm not physically there as well. So we've talked about some of the basics for getting started. I want to hit on specifically social media and your website and how those things can play with each other. So this is, it's a little small up there too. So this is a fictitious example, something that a Yahoo store owner could do. We enable this kind of functionality. The best dog toy ever. So I might be shopping a pet supply store and I online, and I see this product. And I just think this is the greatest thing I've ever seen. And I want to tell my friends about it. You can make it drop dead easy to share things like this by embedding social share functionality in your website. So click of the T icon, share this on Twitter. I can type whatever I want. Another click of the button and it's out to my entire Twitter network. Same thing with Facebook. Goes right into the stream of Facebook updates from my connections. So this is word of mouth at scale. This isn't one-to-one. I'm telling one friend. I'm telling tens, hundreds, thousands of people at a time. That's really powerful. All right, here's another example. This is actually Levi's.com. So Levi's.com, does something that I think is really clever. And so imagine I'm going shopping for a pair of jeans, right? And I go to Levi's.com and I click men's jeans, all jeans. There are 186 pairs of jeans here. I am not a good shopper. I cannot sift through 186 pairs of jeans. So Levi's does a couple of things that makes it a little easier. So right there, they've got reviews embedded in their site. So I can read what 28 people say about that specific pair of jeans. And you can see other ones, there's only one review for the jeans next to them and none for some of these others. So I start to get a sense of what people are shopping for on Levi's.com. So the reviews, the content in those reviews can help you make a decision too. Might be good, might be bad. That was alluded to earlier. Reviews are a little bit of a double-edged sword, right? You have to be careful with those. What I like even more, it's really hard to see up there, the Facebook likes. So the one that I have highlighted has been liked 547 times, the one next to it 33. Which one is the more popular pair of jeans? So maybe I want to do what's trendy and that's going to help me make a decision. Maybe I want to buck the trend and I'm going to get the one that nobody likes. But at least it's going to help me make a decision. And even better, if somebody in my social network has liked one of those products, I'll see their name there. That's like a personal recommendation right from within that store. Really great conversion lever, social. All right, so Facebook is really hot, and at Yahoo we use Facebook a lot in marketing. So I just want to leave you guys with a few kind of tips, best practices, a little bit of research that's been done at Yahoo. So the first is this concept of the welcome tab. And I think Kelly showed something like this. This is our welcome tab for our Facebook page. A welcome tab is the first thing somebody sees the first time they come to your Facebook page. And a good welcome tab will do one thing well, and that is to get somebody to click that like button. And why is that important? If somebody comes to your Facebook page and does not click that like button and navigates away, you may never hear from them again. If they do click that like button, your updates from Facebook will start showing up in their streams, and you will begin that customer relationship with them. We have found a welcome page like this doubled or tripled our like conversion rate. So things like this can cost a little bit of money, but in my experience, if you're going head first into Facebook, I would strongly consider this. Next concept I wanted to talk about is newsfeed optimization. It's actually not a very fancy concept at all, but most people are, or I was unaware until semi-recently, that the default view on Facebook is something called the newsfeed. And on top of that, on the right, top news. Well, who decides what the top news is for me? Turns out that Facebook does. They've got an algorithm that take all of your social networking connections and updates, and they try to prioritize them for you. And this is good in a lot of ways, right? But if you're a small business owner and you're trying to get the word out to people that have liked your page, but they're not seeing it, then you're stuck. So you want to find ways to optimize what you say for Facebook's algorithm, which isn't publicly revealed, but you can do some things to improve your chances. So one tip would be connect a personal Facebook account to the business one, like it, and then every time you post, check on the personal one. Am I showing up in the news feed? Second, link outside to content. So either link to an article, link to your website. Facebook tends to prioritize those in the news feed. And even better than that, photos and video do better than links. Just want to close with some research that's come out of Yahoo Labs. So Yahoo Labs is sort of a research group / think tank within Yahoo. They're responsible for a lot of innovation within the company, and they've done some research about Facebook and types of content that gets shared, et cetera. And so I wanted to share a little bit of that with you guys. So the first finding up there is the top posts generate the majority of user activity. What this tells me is Quality is more important than quantity. You don't need to be posting an update every hour. Focus your energy on good content that people are going to care about. Second one, these are the topics: politics, celebrities, opinion pieces, lifestyle, humor. Those are the things that people share most frequently. So if there is a way for your business, if your business is legitimately related to any of these kinds of themes, there's an opportunity there to tie into those types of content. You don't want to be like Kenneth Cole, insert yourself where you're not relevant, but those are very popular and shared topics. And then finally, 80% of the activity around an article or something that you share happens in the first 24 hours. So 24 hours after you've posted something, you've pretty much gotten all you're going to get out of it. What this tells me, if you have great content, don't be afraid to post it again. So as a reminder, post again. In case you missed it the first time, post again. I think that's a good best practice as well. So just to close here with my key takeaways. Be strong online, and that means a strong website. Know your customer. Know the facts, know the insights. Put that together and you've got a target profile. Specific social technology last. Remember, people, objective, strategy, then go to the technology. The right answer isn't going to be run from this room and create a Facebook page. Think about the post in its entirety. Learn and listen. It's a foreign language in a lot of ways. Don't be afraid to dive in, but take a little bit of time to figure out what you're doing. And then lastly, integrate social with the things you're already doing and with your website. There's a lot of power there. So that's my email. I know. Feel free to shoot me an email with questions. These are sites where you can get more information. There's our small business homepage and our Facebook page and our Twitter page. So,
great.
Thank you very much.
Let's take a few questions. A few questions first. Does anyone have questions from the public? Okay. If you want to come up to the podium so people can hear you. Anyone that has a question, just go ahead and.
I work in social media a bit. Quick question about the notion of a welcome page. Because there is interactivity and conversation.
Yeah, speak into the mic. Yeah.
Because there's not interactivity and conversation on a welcome page, we've also found that people can come there and leave very quickly because they don't have a sense of any kind of relationship to who's there on the community.
Yep, right. So a welcome page, there has to be some convincing element to it, right? So our approach has been, we've actually got more videos below, but it's basically, here's what you'll get from us on a regular basis if you like the page. And that's an integral part of the message, okay. Definitely. But
it can't just be an advertisement for the business.
Right. At that point, you don't have people necessarily convinced that they want to like you on Facebook. I think that's a great call out. Thank you.
If you have a question, just come up to the podium.
So everybody knows that content is king on this, but quality content is really expensive. So how does a small business deal with that?
So the question was around content is king, quality content is really expensive. How does a small business owner compete, right, in that kind of landscape? Is that okay? So I think a couple of ways come to mind. So you guys are, frankly, who everybody's rooting for, right? Small businesses collectively power our economy. And you guys have those entrepreneurial stories, and you've got those personalities behind your business. And I think that's something that people want to hear. I know that's something that people want to hear because they want to hear it from us about our customers. So I would say original content, tie it back to your story, tie it to the success of your business, the growth of your business, things that you're passionate about. Be that kind of individual person, and I think that's the way you differentiate yourself, frankly. I don't think you want to compete on, top 10 best practices for social media articles, things like that. Relate it back to your own business. This, using these tips helped us in these ways, etc. Is that going to answer your question? Original videos of your, in your office, of your staff, of your products, events that you're doing, videos, the same idea. We've had small businesses put together really funny, clever videos that have gone viral. And I think it's just, a lot of it's in the creativity.
Great. Well, Eric, thank you very much. And once again, thank you to Yahoo Small Business